As the sun surrendered to the night, Lolo Joaquin saw a chilling sight, a man upside down, watching him through the gap of his legs. How do you fight a monster when the face it wears is the face of your friend? Thank you for joining us here at the Tale Trails. We truly appreciate you spending your time with us today. Before we dive into our story, we'd love to know where you are tuning in from. Drop your location in the comments or chat. It's always amazing to see how far our trails reach. Lolo Joaquin is my favorite grandfather. Every afternoon, while sitting in his rocking chair, he loves to recount his experiences from his youth. Their life in the province back then was simple. He was a hard-working farmer who patiently herded livestock under the heat of the sun. Their home was a small hut made of bamboo and sawali, where his wife, Lola Wana, and their 4 children Anoy, Nitang, Anang, and Insiang lived happily. Although the houses in their village were far apart, every family knew one another and held a deep respect for each other. Beyond farming, Lolo Joaquin was known for his secret wisdom. He was the one people turned to when they were sick, he assisted women struggling in childbirth, and he was an expert in paktatawas and the crafting of anting. With just a single touch of his hand on the belly of a suffering mother, the baby would seemingly emerge as if by miracle, without any difficulty. It was also believed that he could heal those plagued with or hexed by unseen spirits. Because of this, the entire village looked up to him as their protector against the elements of darkness. Despite being busy in the fields, there was one tradition Lolo Joaquin never forgot during Holy Week: the making of sacred oil. As early as Thursday, he would search the forest for a single-eyed coconut. A normal coconut has 3 indentations that resemble a face, but a coconut with only one hole is believed to possess extraordinary power. At the break of dawn on Good Friday, he would cook the oil while whispering secret orations, a ritual that gave strength to his amulets. One Friday afternoon, during the twilight hour when light and dark began to merge, Lolo Joaquin went to the field to retrieve his pet carabao. There, amidst the silence, he saw a man crouching upside down, looking at him from between his own legs. At first, he thought the man needed help, but as he drew closer, he froze in shock. The man was his close friend, his compere, Pepito. The being before him was no ordinary human. Pepito's eyes were glaring with malice, his mouth was frothing, and his nails seemed to be lengthening. It was a mantis, a fierce type of aswang famous in Visayas and Mindanao that could take the form of an animal. "My friend, do not joke like that," Lolo warned. But in an instant, the creature lunged with a speed that was not human. Lolo quickly pulled out his whip made from a stingray's tail and struck it with all his might. With every lash 1, 2, until 5 the creature's muffled screams echoed until it collapsed. He placed a large stone over its head before quickly fleeing. When he arrived home, blood stained Lolo's clothes. "Wana, lay the mats in the center of the house. Do not leave my side no matter what happens," he ordered. He placed garlic at every window and door, sprinkled salt around the perimeter, and tied a white cloth around his forehead smeared with his newly made oil. He handed his family a piece of paper with an incantation. "Recite this repeatedly. If I lose consciousness or writhe in pain, do not let me touch the walls. Pull me back to the heart of the house." At midnight, the terror began. Various animal cries surrounded them: crows swooping over the roof, dogs howling outside, and scratches on the walls that seemed to want to pierce through. Lolo Joaquin writhed in intense headaches, as if some force was pulling him outside. Crying in fear, Lola Wana and the children prayed without ceasing, holding their father tightly to keep him in the center. They saw hands with long claws forcing their way through the gaps in the roof, but because of Lolo's protection, they could not set foot on the floor. When the sun rose, the surroundings gradually fell silent. After drinking hot coffee, Lolo tied a strand of abaca around his waist, a final protection before visiting Pepito. Upon arriving at the house, Pepito's wife Linda met him, her eyes red from crying. "Linda, how is my friend Pepito?" Lolo asked. As he took a deep breath, the abaca strand around his waist suddenly snapped. That snap marked the final end for his friend. A piercing cry of grief was heard from inside the house as Lolo walked away. He knew that through his visit, he had finally severed the curse of the mantas that had taken hold of his friend. After Pepito's funeral, which was attended by only a few relatives before they finally left the village, Lolo Joaquin and Lola Juana sat under the shade of a large acacia tree in front of their house. Lola Juana held a glass of water while watching her husband, who seemed deep in thought. "Joaquin," Lola Juana began in a gentle voice. "I know what happened is heavy on your heart. You and Pepito have been friends since you were children." Lolo Joaquin sighed. He looked at his hands, roughened by farming, the same hands he used to strike his friend with the stingray tail. "Juana, I didn't want this to happen," Lolo said. "But when I saw him in the field, upside down with those glaring eyes, I knew my friend was no longer there. The mantis was in control of him. If I had let him live after that night, not only would we have been in danger, but the entire village as well." Lola Juana stroked her husband's shoulder. "Why did you still have to visit him one last time? Why did the abaca on your waist have to break before he could finally pass away?" "That was the final blessing, Juana," Lolo explained. "The mantis is like a curse. When an aswang is wounded by a stingray's tail, they do not die immediately. They remain alive but trapped between the world of man and darkness, waiting for a chance to regain strength to kill again. My visit and the snapping of the abaca was the way for nature to finally surrender him. I ended his suffering." A single tear fell from Lolo Joaquin's eye. "It hurts me that I was the instrument of his end, but it would hurt more to see him fully become a monster that would devour his friends and townspeople." Lola Juana gave him a small hug. "You did what was right for everyone. Your amulet and wisdom were given to you to be the guardian of this village. It is not your fault if Pepito chose the dark path." They knew that from then on, the story of the mantas would not just be a warning for children, but a reminder of the sacrifice of a friend who chose to be the protector of his village. From then on, Pepito's family was never seen in the village again, and this story of Lolo Joaquin remained a reminder that behind the quiet province, there are mysteries that only those with a strong heart can face. Peace had long reigned over Lolo Joaquin's village. The tales of terror had become mere whispers of the past until tonight. Carrying the scent of oil and medicinal herbs, Lolo Joaquin walked along the dark earthen dikes. He had just finished performing a traditional massage for a villager with a sprain, and his only companion was the dim glow of the moon. But in an instant, the old man stopped in his tracks. The silence was shattered by a shrill, bone-chilling cry. "Waaak! Waaak!" This was no ordinary bird. The voice rose from the depths of the forest, a hungry howl searching for prey. Lolo Joaquin's eyes narrowed as he spotted a black shadow flying swiftly toward the edge of the village, toward the house of Cecilia, the fisherman's wife who was close to giving birth to their firstborn. Lolo knew exactly what that meant. The scent of new life was like a magnet to the creatures of darkness that had been lurking for so long. The old man did not hesitate. With his right hand, he slowly drew his buntot pagi, the stingray tail whip that struck terror into the hearts of the aswang. In his left, he tightly gripped the bottle of miraculous oil. Inside the glass, the oil began to bubble and swell, a dire warning that the enemy was not just a common spirit, but a ravenous mantis. "Not tonight," Lolo Joaquin whispered as he hurried along the path toward the lone light at the end of the village. As he approached, a long, dark claw was already hooked into the gap of the pregnant woman's roof. Lolo heard a low growl from above, coinciding with the rapid thumping of the amulet against his chest. The battle between sacred wisdom and the curse of darkness is about to begin. What is your judgment on Lolo Joaquin's actions toward his friend? Should he have let fate take its course and allowed him to live? Join the circle and share your thoughts with us. Thank you for wandering down this trail with us today. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to ensure you never miss a new legend. Do you have a tale that needs to be told? Send your stories to our Facebook page or via email. We would be honored to bring your journey to light for the rest of the world.